Well, listen, I thank you both for getting your reports to me on time. Last night I had last night was officially the region captain conference call. Of course, we only have one region captain right now, but Rodney was on it, our regional director, and his assistant, Angie Turner from Texas. Anyway, we went over your reports as well as the reports from Region 5, too. And you two guys did far and away the best reports. So I want to thank you for getting those to me. And good job. Good job. Thank you very much.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Before we get into, I got some specific items that I wanted to address with you on the report here. But first of all, tell me, was this an overwhelming thing for you to do to do this report? Is it a burden to you to do this? What do you think?
No.
I have 30 years in corporate America filling out stuff like this, so no.
You ought to be used to this, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Well, I just want to make sure. As I said before, this is all about accountability, and someday you're going to have a region captain, and he or she is going to want to know what you're doing, and especially when that region captain, has 9 more regions on here, 9 more districts on here than what we have right now. Only the 2 of you. So that region captain, it needs to know what you're doing. And like I said, it's about accountability. And then in turn, then I want to know what you're doing too. So, but I don't want this to become a burden to anyone. So thank you very much for what you're doing here. Let me get into some specifics, and I want you to bring up to me if you had any problems with any particular areas here. But can y'all see this the report that I've got on my screen here?
Yeah.
Okay, this is I took your reports and combined them on here to a one for the region. And I just want to point out here now, this blank up here where it says region call, that would be the call that I would want the region captain to do for your region at least once a month, to do a conference call, some type of a call with the district captains in your region. So that's what that blank is about. Of course, right now, you don't have a region captain, but this call that we're doing tonight would serve as a region captain call. Since I'm playing the role of region captain right now, we'll consider this the region call for August. Okay? And of course, this area up here in recruitment, this would be what the region captain would complete to show how many volunteers he or she's been contacting in the districts without district captains. Okay, let me see if I can get down here now. Okay, now here's the individual, of course, the individual districts, the 2 of you listed here. By the way, Gary Moore in District 33, word has it that he is dropping out. So don't exactly know all the reasons why right now, but evidently he contacted George, told him that he anyway, told him he was going to drop out, and I've been trying to contact him, and he's not replying to me. So I think we've lost Gary there.
No,
So
that's unfortunate.
yes, it
I know
is.
you had mentioned, some time ago we were having a bit of a turnover problem, and so
Yeah, and it continues. We're not the only state experiencing this. As a matter of fact, right now, you remember we talked about the funnel and keeping that funnel filled with candidates for different positions. We have 0 people in that funnel right now.
oh wow.
Yeah, and I was quite upset about it, quite honestly. But after talking to Rodney and Angie, apparently other states, especially past states like we are experiencing the same thing. So I don't know if it's the time of the year or just what it is. But right now, we don't have anyone coming into that funnel. So now we're going to take some steps to try and get some people interested and get some people going, but right now we have 0 in there. So anyway, going on here, as for in this area, as far as your legislative contacts with your state senator, state representative, and presenting the 34 ready packet, once you've made, all we're asking you to do this year is to meet with each one time and present the 34 ready packet. So once you've done that, just carry that forward each month because you've satisfied that requirement. So just carry that forward to the next month. Any meeting with the legislators as well as presenting the packet. So Thomas, you can carry what you've done here with your state senator. You can carry that forward to August report.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and continue carrying that forward so we know that you've done that. Now down here, when we get down into the grassroots, the number of petition signers, that should be the number that you got signed. That not the number from the state call, from the report that I do in the state call. This would be the number that you got personally signed, or people in your district got signed. Okay.
Okay. Well, then I screwed up because that's the number of folks that hit the dashboard.
I know. I recognize that number.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay. That's okay. No problem here. Those now. As far as that number is concerned, that we pull for the state call, that could very well reflect people that you've got to sign, but it also reflects the people that have come in and signed as a result of our national advertising.
Sure.
So I know that may be kind of a hard number for you to determine, but whatever you think is the number that you actually got in your district, that your district actually brought in, that's kind of what we're looking for there. Okay. Down here, number of volunteers contacted. Okay, that should be from your district dashboard. So, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You know how to go into your district dashboard and see who your new volunteers are So that number there should be the number of volunteers that you contacted.
Is that new volunteers altogether?
That would be the number that the new ones that you contacted for the month.
Oh, new volunteers.
Yeah.
Oh, rush that 20 out of there. That's the 20 those are my ghost volunteers that I've been contacting, and I finally got a hold of them, at least 6 of them, just Monday.
Did you?
Yeah. One seems interested, but they all have this idea that since Trump is in office, so we don't have nothing to worry about. That's the problem.
Well, that's a very interesting point, Thomas. I agree with you. I think that is playing a role in the slowdown in the number of people coming into the funnel for us. I think that they think Trump is doing a lot of the things that we want to see done, and so
what they don't understand is that the former president has endorsed 81 candidates across the United States, except none in this state. But he's endorsed 81. There's a list. But
well, that's a really interesting perspective to have, because I mean, I can see why folks could reach that conclusion, but the other thing we probably have a messaging opportunity here that
Right.
folks have to recognize that we can become an ally for Trump, and the fact is, he's going to be term limited one way or the other.
Right.
And we hope this country goes on another couple hundred years, way beyond Trump's hopefully 8 years, right? So, okay, so we probably have a little bit of messaging to work on there.
Well, we know for a fact that the issues that the 3 issues that we are purporting, are advocating. I mean, those issues have been there for decades, for many administrations, and this administration may make some headway, but it's very doubtful that they're going to in fact control spending, that they're in fact going to pass term limits. It's very doubtful, and they're eliminating regulations, but my goodness, in the last administration, the number of regulations that were added far exceed what's been deleted so far, or reversed. So there's still a lot of work to do there, and I don't know. The current administration may make some headway, but I seriously doubt that they're going to really address those 3 areas very strongly.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
So,
but there will be people that think that there's no need to do anything more, that they're going to make headway on it. So, and it'd be a wonderful thing if they did, but
you have to get rid of Amendment 17 in the first.
The 17th Amendment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter what people think about it, how they've got to get rid of it, because if not, we might not be here, but the problem would just go on and on and on.
Right. Now,
you're absolutely right on that one.
guys, I did a little research before our call tonight with regard to this number of volunteers contacted, and I looked at both of your districts, and since July 1, you've had 0 volunteers come into your district. So now you've had supporters come in. Larry, you've had 31 total, and Thomas, you've had 10, but none of those are volunteers.
Yeah.
So that, once again, that could be, you know, a part of this lull that we're experiencing right now. So you just got to stay on top of that, and when you get some coming in there, get on it and contact them. Okay. Another item down here on the team makeup here, co-leaders, DC team members makeup. If you guys get any people that want to be on your DC team, then carry those names over from month to month, so we know who those people are.
Okay, if I get anybody.
Yeah, right. Okay. Same way down here on, well, you know about meeting events and social media things. Down in the self-governance area, kind of the same thing. If you've got anyone in your district that you know of that's doing anything in the way of self-governance, go ahead and put them down here. Doesn't have to be just you. It can be anyone in your district. Okay.
Okay.
And now down in this part in the communications, of course, we know the state call, and we know the region call. If you attended the region call, which we're doing right now, this is.
Oh, did I misstate that?
Yeah, that's okay. I know what you meant.
Okay.
The district call. Now, this is something that we would like to see happen, and that would be for each district captain to conduct some sort of a call, some sort of a communication of some type with people in your district. Now, have either of you attempted that or given any thought to that?
Well, I try to get the few that seems to be alive and well to use something like free conference call. But again, that's up in the air.
Yeah, yeah. Larry, you.
We'll see what kind of luck I have here in the next month. The approach I've been taking, and I guess my biggest obstacle is probably the same as the biggest obstacle of everyone, and that's time. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things that that I built a Google group and copied all my folks into that. And the nice thing about a Google group, or the bad thing about it, depending on how you look at it, is people, once they're contacted, they can choose to opt out. Mm-hmm. So I sent it to just under 350 people, and 288 have chosen to stay. And
good.
So, so far, and now I'm not inundating them with messages. I'm trying to not send them more than about, 1 or 2 communications a week. But, up to this point, since I was focused on the fair, it's been mostly kind of an introduction. Here's who I am. Here's a couple of things we're going to be doing. Here's a little bit of background on convention and states and that kind of thing. It's just been very high-level education. But this month is where I was really going to start pushing on those kind of things, asking for face-to-face meeting, a meet and greet, folks get to know each other, set up a call, ask for some help in terms of, because I'm on the fringe of the area, so asking for some help to get a venue, suggested venues, and all of that. So this coming month here is where I'm going to be attempting to do some of these things, and we'll see what kind of response we get.
Okay. Yeah,
so I definitely thought about it. I just haven't gotten there yet.
How did you create the Google group?
Well, it isn't the route I actually wanted to go. First I set up a separate email just for convention and stage work, and all I was going to do was just set up a distribution. But then I started thinking, well, there's 350 people in the group have signed the petition. They're probably going to get a little annoyed with me if they can all see each other's emails.
Right.
So to protect their privacy, I built this distribution just as a regular email distribution. And I thought, well, I'll send my first email. I'll just put it in the blind copy section. Well, Google shut me down. They figured I was a spammer and wouldn't send the messages. So I did a little bit more research on it, and it seemed that the only way that I could send to that large of a group and still protect everybody's privacy was I had to go this Google group route. And the the good and the bad about the Google group is you have, if you set it up, you have 100% control over not only who you invite, but also who has writing privileges. So right now, I'm the only one that has writing privileges, but I've only sent 4 or 5 notes anyway. And I got my first guy tonight came forward and said, hey, I tried to write to this group and I can't.
Yeah.
How do I do that? He was one of the young guys that I met at the fair, actually. So I think maybe I may have just found my first leader out of my existing team, is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
And I said, well, look, I don't plan to give everybody writing privileges to this because I don't want it to become a bitch session, kind of free-for-all.
Right.
But the key leaders who would do things like manage a Facebook account or organize events or become, co-captains, whatever, they'd all have right privileges.
Mm-hmm.
So I just threw that all out at him literally tonight while I was preparing for this call to see how that goes.
Well, that's fantastic. Now, the 300 or so names that went into this list,
mm-hmm.
Did you have to input each one of those?
Yeah, I copied them one at a time right off the district page.
All right. That's what I thought. See, I use Outlook, and it's basically the same concept. Basically, you set up a distribution list, mm-hmm. And to protect privacy, Outlook does allow me to. I basically, if I send an email out to this group, I send the email to me, and then I BCC the distribution list.
All right, and it goes that way.
And it goes that way, yeah.
Ah, no kidding.
So, but anyway, looks like you're on the right track there. Now, when I was a district captain, and I'm not saying this is the best thing to do for everybody, but I did create an online newsletter, and it's something I did monthly, and I would, of course, I would include things that important information or information I think that people would like to know about what's going on in the state. Well, not only that, what's going on nationally, what's going on in the state, and then what would pertain to my district. So it took a while to set that up. If you've ever done a newsletter, it takes a while to set that up the first time, but then you just, use that same shell month after month and just update it and change it around like you want it. I think I used Publisher, mm-hmm. And then I would, of course, I would create a PDF and use the PDF to email it out. So just something to think about. Whatever way works best, but it's the purpose here is to establish communications and to keep our people informed of, you know, what's happening nationally as well as in the state and in our district, and of course then to communicate any needs or help that you need. So it's just a way to communicate with the people in your district. Thomas, you've been given any thought to that?
Oh, no, I've been giving thought to going up to Williamsburg this weekend. They're having a festival.
Okay.
Yeah. I talked to the lady that's in charge, and I said, she says, I'll set you up a booth. I said, well, there's only going to be one of me. She says, I know the feeling. I don't have volunteers either. And so I'm going up there, and I got printed out some applications, some petitions.
Okay, all right.
And hope I get somebody to sign them.
Okay. I've done that before. I used to do that at car shows. I just grabbed some business cards and some palm cards and just start walking around. And at car shows, people kind of tend to gather in little groups. And, you know, I just walk up to a group and say, hey, I'm so-and-so. Would you like to hear about Convention Estates? So it's a good way. It's a good way to connect with people.
Well, I hope at least I get one.
All right. Well, those were pretty much the topics that I wanted to cover with you on this. Now, let me ask you: do I need to send you another form for August, or have you got one you can use?
I can keep building off of this one. I saved it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
I got two of these forms.
If you guys know a way, there ought to be a way that we could centralize this. So instead of you having to create a form that you have to send to me, there ought to be a way where we ought to have a form set up where you can input to it, and it automatically update where I would see it. There's got to be a way of doing that, I think.
Well, I think you can set up. I think Google has like a shared documents or a cloud application.
Okay.
I'm sure our IT guys would know that.
Yeah, I'm going to be talking to Tim here pretty soon. I think I'm going to see if he can set up something for me. That would eliminate our having to send reports back and forth.
Well, it would also keep you from having to consolidate them.
True. That's right. Right. Okay. Well, the August report, if you would please have it to me by the 31st of August. And then let's plan on another region call like this on September 5th at 9 p.m. Does that work for both of you?
Works for me.
Yeah, we got to make that. We got to be able to make that work.
Okay. All right.
I was going to get nervous if you were going to get into the Labor Day weekend. We've got the my son's getting married in October to a Kansas girl. So guess where the wedding isn't? It isn't here.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got kind of the pre-wedding party that Labor Day weekend. So I'm glad you opted for the 5th.
That's true. That would be the Labor Day weekend, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Didn't think about that. Okay. All right. Anybody got anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Well, keep up the good work. Both doing great, and hopefully, maybe this month we'll hopefully add some more district captains to your group. Although I don't think, I know we still have some in training, but I don't think. Well, you guys are Region 6, aren't you?
Yeah.
So 56. Well, we got two other we have two other district captains. Who are they? District 33 and 53. Let's see who they are here. 33. Well, that was Gary Moore, so we don't have him. But 53 would be 52, 53. A Mike Wagner, and I think he is tied up on something, so his training's been delayed. So right now we don't have anybody else coming on immediately into your region. So okay, guys. Once again, thank you for what you're doing. I'll go ahead and post this recording if you want to listen to it and go back over it. So otherwise, I'll look to hear from you by August 31st, and we'll of course we'll have our region call on September 5th. Our state call will be August 22nd, Wednesday the 22nd. All right. Have a good evening.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Dale. Have a good
See
evening.
you guys.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.